We've owned and lived with all three of these trucks for an entire year: the Chevy Colorado, Toyota Tacoma, and Ford Ranger. Not for a few weeks or a couple of test drives, but every single day. Work runs, school pickups, long road trips, boring commutes, and even some serious off-road fun. We've done it all. After driving over 50,000 miles combined, it's time to talk about what's good, what's bad, and what's broken. And by the end, we'll tell you which truck is actually worth spending your own money on. Chevy Colorado. Let's start with the Colorado, since it's the one we've had the longest. Our model is a Z71, the second highest trim level, equipped with the towing package and a few tech upgrades. When any vehicle enters our year-long test program, over 40 team members drive it, commuting, road tripping, and logging real feedback. So what you're hearing isn't just one person's opinion. And the first thing most of us liked, the powertrain. Our Colorado uses the high-output 2.7-liter Turbo 4, and it's genuinely impressive. On long drives, it cruises quietly with plenty of power, and there's never a complaint about highway performance. Utility is another strong point. We've been loading and unloading this truck's bed constantly, and it never disappoints. One underrated feature everyone loves? That short side step near the rear bumper. It's small, but for anyone under 6 feet, it's a lifesaver. Tech-wise, Chevy nailed it. The Colorado uses Google integration, which means seamless Google Maps, Google Assistant, and access to apps like Spotify. Even better, it still keeps Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which many automakers are ditching. But Chevy wisely didn't. Now, it's not perfect. The interior feels roomy, but step into the other two trucks, and you'll notice how plasticky the Colorado's cabin really is. Some trims feel cheap, especially the hard plastic center console. A few of us even joked it's rough enough to sand your elbows. The seats are another weak spot. After long drives, they feel flat and uncomfortable, and the ride quality is easily the roughest of the three trucks. Despite that, many owners still swear by their Colorados, and we get it. It's a solid, capable truck, just missing a little refinement compared to the others. Toyota Tacoma. Next up, the 2024 Toyota Tacoma TRD Off-Road. If you ask us, this is the sweet spot of the lineup. Rugged enough to play, practical enough to live with. First impressions, the new Tacoma's interior is a massive step up from the old one. The previous generation was cramped and awkward, but Toyota fixed that, mostly. There's finally more headroom, better seat adjustment, and a steering wheel that fits drivers of all sizes. Everything inside feels chunky and satisfying. The buttons, the knobs, even the shifter. It's the most truck-like of the three, and that's meant as a compliment. When you climb in, the cabin feels surprisingly premium. The giant infotainment screen, heated steering wheel, and soft touch materials make it feel like a high-end trim, even though it's not the top model. At around $55,000, it's pricey, but you don't feel shortchanged. Tech features include wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, plus Toyota's own updated system. That huge screen. It's the biggest of the three, though it might make you feel like an iPad kid in a diner. Off-road, the Tacoma shines. In our testing, it beat the Colorado and Ranger in most challenges, from crawling over rocks to handling mud and ruts. And the TRD Off-Road is about $20,000 cheaper than the TRD Pro, yet nearly as capable. Toyota's new turbocharged 4-cylinder engine replaces the old V6, and it's a big improvement. It's smoother, shifts better with the new 8-speed automatic, and feels livelier overall. You don't need the optional hybrid. The standard setup is great. But not everything is perfect. Fuel economy fell short of the EPA estimate, and the back seat is just plain tight. It's fine for groceries, not for full-grown passengers. Still, the Tacoma earns its reputation. Reliable, capable, and full of personality. It's not the most spacious or efficient, but it's probably the toughest and most likable of the bunch. Ford Ranger. Finally, we have the Ford Ranger, the smaller sibling to the F-150, and honestly, it feels like a shrunken version of that big truck in a good way. The comfort level stands out immediately. While the Colorado and Tacoma can get noisy and rough, the Ranger is quiet, smooth, and refined. It rides better than both rivals and feels more composed on the road. The cabin quality is also the best here. There's very little cheap plastic. Everything feels soft, solid, and modern. You get wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and the best sound system in the group. It even tows and hauls slightly more than the other two trucks. We also tested the Turbo 6 engine, but here's the deal. It's only slightly quicker and less efficient than the Turbo 4. Save yourself the money. The standard engine is more than enough. That said, the Ranger isn't flawless. The transmission can feel laggy until it warms up, and if you use auto start-stop with brake hold, it gets a bit jerky. Some testers found the seats and headrests uncomfortable on longer drives. And then there's the weirdest issue: the doors. For some reason, the rear doors didn't always latch properly unless you slammed them hard. It's a small thing, but frustrating in a brand new truck. Maintenance, reliability, and value. Let's talk reliability. All three trucks have been solid. No major breakdowns, no scary repairs, just normal servicing. The Colorado needed a fuel injector recall, which was fixed quickly. The Tacoma had a weird seatbelt lockup, but Toyota replaced it under warranty. And the Ranger just needed its regular oil and tire service done in under 2 hours for about $200. When it comes to depreciation, here's where things get interesting. After a year, the Tacoma lost 33% of its value, the Colorado 29%, and the Ranger just 27%, the best of the three. Fuel costs are almost identical, so that shouldn't decide your purchase. The verdict. So, after a full year of ownership and 50,000 miles of testing, here's how the vote split across our team. Some preferred the Colorado for its power and tech. Others swore by the Tacoma for its toughness and off-road ability. And quite a few picked the Ranger for its comfort and refinement. When we tallied it up, our official winner, and Edmunds Top-Rated Truck for 2025, is the Ford Ranger. It's the most balanced, most comfortable, and most livable of the three. It does everything well without any major weaknesses. Still, each of these trucks has its charm. Colorado, best for tech and towing. Tacoma, best for off-roading and toughness. Ranger, best all-around daily driver. So which one would you pick for your driveway? Let us know. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more real-world tests.